You are now listening to the official newscast authorized by the Emperor of the United States. This is Don Culleton, the official newscaster for the Emperor. The time is 12:55 hours at the time of this recording, on the 11th of September, 2022. The Emperor would like to thank all of his loyal subjects for the many birthday wishes he has received over the following 4 days leading up to and on his special day. He wishes you all happy returns and wishes you all to be well for all of your days. Now on to some old business recaps. The Emperor has made it clear to the still functioning government serving under him that the capital of the United States has moved from Washington, D.C. to Stone Marina, Indiana. But it does not seem that the government cares to listen and heed this bit of information, so therefore the Emperor hereby decrees that for each day the government spends dawdling from moving to the capital, each person still in D.C. will be fined 100,000 Josephian dollars until they are fully moved to Stone Marina. All those still in D.C. would do well to heed our Emperor's warning and make their moves as soon as possible. The recent recruiting drive drawn up by the Emperor has produced massive results for increasing the manpower for the Emperor's Royal Imperial Guards. Thousands upon thousands of young, strapping, able-bodied men and women have enlisted into the Imperial Guards, with men volunteering to fight, while women take care of the camp, cook meals, watch over the children, and may be used as a last resort if the worst comes, if all of the men are killed and the base they are staying at is overrun. The Emperor has personally inspected the troops and is very pleased with what he sees, and has spoken to them about the bright future he sees in each and every one of them. With so many troops under his command, the Emperor has affectionately given them the nickname My Ghost Army, and he has expressed his desire that that army should always be fully equipped and given the most elite training possible. Craig Thompson, who also goes by the YouTube username MiniLad, has not yet responded to our Emperor's call for a meeting so that they can discuss Mr. Thompson's future as the Emperor's head of education. Please respond at once, Mr. Thompson, and don't make our Emperor any more angry than he already is by ignoring him even further. Speaking of ignoring our Emperor, he has some words to say about China's land grabs, to which the country in question has ignored his letters of outrage over these events. The Emperor sees no other available option but to launch a diplomatic protest against China, saying, "The country of China will not know what has hit them when we are done with them. They will be driven to fear from our diplomatic protests." The Emperor will await any response that China may make in the future. The Emperor is most displeased with those individuals who still refer to people who hail from Indiana as Hoosiers. He would like to remind everyone that using the term Hoosiers is strictly prohibited, and that if he or any of his Imperial Guards catch anyone disobeying this royal decree, those involved will be apprehended and punished accordingly. You have been warned. On a lighter note, the Emperor expresses his great pleasure in the recent halting of the January 6th committee hearings. Although they have not yet fully or officially disbanded, the January 6th committee has been showing less of itself recently on television, to which the Emperor believes this to be a step in the right direction, and that the committee will never show itself or be heard from ever again. Now we move on to new business that the Emperor has conducted. Our first order of business is that the Emperor has established a new series of curfews across the country. The new curfews will take place from 8 o'clock a.m. until 8 o'clock p.m. This will ensure that it fights off the spirit of laziness that the Emperor himself has researched and has found that it attacks from around 8:01 p.m. until 7:59 a.m., thus explaining the time frame for the new curfews. Like COVID, these curfews will likely save people, as they will fight it by working hard and making themselves tired by nightfall, so that they can drive off the spirit of laziness and keep it from attacking them, all in the name of our Emperor. Of course, if anyone does not follow this curfew, then they will be left to deal with the spirit of laziness themselves. And if you think that there will be help for you to help defeat the spirit of laziness, Just like the mist from Stephen King's novel, you will not have any help and you'll be left on your own to fend it off. The Emperor would just like to touch up upon the mostly recent Mar-a-Lago Raid by the FBI. The Emperor expresses his displeasure about the conductance of the raid, and states that if the FBI would have picked out any useful hidden secrets from the residence of President Donald Trump, they would have grabbed other personal Trump effects, such as any personal Trump effects, Donald Trump's collection of suits, and Melania Trump's shoes. The Emperor may make a personal visit to Mar-a-Lago with the FBI to do just that, if it comes down to conducting another raid on the premises. The Emperor would also like to express his bewilderment, for lack of words, over Biden's so-called red speech by some groups of people. On the night of the speech, the Emperor was taking a nap while watching TV. When he woke up, he thought he was watching Episode 7 of the highly popular franchise Star Wars. But when he realized that it was Biden, the current president of the United States under his command, he was shocked. And even more so with Biden's words, but he was pleased with the retraction of his speech the following day. The Emperor warns Biden not to do this again, so that he and the American people will not be scared out of their wits and think that they are watching a science fiction TV show and not a presidential speech. Over in Texas, the Uvalde school reopens. As a gift to make the students feel better about coming back to school, teachers and staff gave stuffed animals to the students in the shape of their school mascot in order to make them feel better. The Emperor expresses his great pleasure at the choice of toy and gives his thanks to the school for not choosing violent improvements, such as security for the school perimeter, better doors to keep intruders out, and, for whatever reason, to replace the existing police force that was doing its best to protect itself against a deadly enemy at the time, COVID-19, by washing their hands repeatedly and using hand sanitizer. The Emperor expresses his gratitude for those officers in question being brave in that encounter and condemns those rabble-rousing critics of the police force and school as troublemakers. On a different topic, there are those who still question the Emperor's authority by sending out arrest warrants against the Emperor. The Emperor expresses his regret and exasperation at those who intend to seek these warrants against him, arrest him, assassinate him, or throw him into a mental institution. To try and quell those who still question our Emperor's authority, our Emperor hereby decrees that those continuing to seek warrants against him will be doxxed, tracked down, arrested, and put in jail, and also given a fine of 10,000 Josephian dollars. Again, you have been warned. And on a final note, our Emperor is very pleased to announce a business venture with the country of Nigeria. The Emperor has started a business deal with this country with a Nigerian prince named Iu Fool. The business venture itself will only cost the Emperor 100 Josephian dollars to be sent by mail, but he has stated that the Emperor needs to rally his loyal subjects to send the prince their social security numbers, credit and debit card numbers, the names of the accounts of those cards, and the 3 wacky digits, as he puts it, on the back of those cards. Please send those numbers as soon as you can. Nigeria is a very wonderful country in need of our Emperor's help. Please send all that you can. You have just been listening to the official newscast authorized by the Emperor of the United States. This is Don Culleton, the official newscaster for the Emperor. Just a quick little reminder, the Emperor has spotted an interesting news account on the social media platform Gab called Trusty Sources News. The Emperor expresses his belief that this organization should be looked into and possibly bought to become the Emperor's official newsletter for announcements and proclamations. Again, this has been Don Culleton, the official newscaster for the Emperor, signing off. Hail to the Emperor, ruler of America!